Something interesting is happening in Collin County today, and it's going to be the first ever jury trial by Zoom, which is a fascinating topic. I think it raises a lot of questions. So joining us now is Quentin Brogdon, is a personal injury attorney with Crain, Lewis, and Brogdon. Good morning, Quentin.
Good morning, Scott and Hal. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Good.
Doing good. I guess the first real question here is just how exactly is this going to work? Are there going to be people monitoring this jury to make sure they're not goofing off or petting their dogs and they're actually paying attention?
Well, this is the first online jury trial in Texas and maybe in the nation, or definitely one of the first in the nation. The wheels of justice have to keep turning, so we're going to have to experiment and do some things we may not feel comfortable with. If you've been to the courthouse, you know how busy it is. It's elbow to elbow, getting in an elevator, sitting in a jury deliberation room, even when you're waiting to be called into the various courtrooms. And so this is a summary jury trial. It's non-binding. Judge Emily Miskell, who's a family law judge in the 470th District Court in Collin County. She's a Harvard law grad, Stanford undergrad, so she's a very bright, forward-thinking judge. She is running this today, this summary jury trial, and I think we're all going to learn a lot from it. It's getting national media coverage. It's covered in the New York Times today, even.
You know, I believe the Supreme Court met like this a couple of weeks ago, didn't they?
Well, we've had over 60,000 Zoom hearings in Texas, just in Texas, and yes, the U.S. Supreme Court had arguments on the phone, which is, needless to say, a first. So we understand there will be 6 to 12 more months of social distancing in our courthouses. We can debate about exactly how we open up businesses. The courthouses, are really busy, and there are task forces meeting right now. In fact, Judge Emily Miskell, the judge starting this trial today, is on one of those task forces. I'm on it as well, and we've been discussing problems such as, jury summons. Do you bring everybody down and then find out half of them are sick, or some of them have temperatures and you've exposed everybody to that? How do you use the facilities and the elevators? Do you stagger the openings of the courtrooms? You have 4 courtrooms on a floor. Do you just use 2 at a time? Do you start one trial at 9 and another at 10:30? Things such as that. Lots of things to discuss and parse through.
Quentin, this is Quentin Brogdon from Crain, Lewis, and Brogdon, a personal injury attorney. Hang tight, because I want to ask you about jury selection and how you do this on Zoom, because I know that's a big part of what attorneys are doing. But let's check traffic first real quick. Quentin Brogdon joins us, an attorney at Crain, Lewis, and Brogdon, talking about this Collin County online jury trial. So when you guys do jury selection as an attorney, that's a big, you're gauging personalities, you're gauging how they pay attention, how attentive they are, that kind of thing. How do you do this effectively on Zoom?
It would be very difficult to choose a jury on Zoom. You've got concerns about whether the jurors are all paying attention, whether they're engaged, whether there are other people in the room with them. So there's no question it would complicate it greatly. And when you're talking about criminal trials, this whole Zoom trial thing is a horse of a different color as well. So we may be able to ratchet this up much more quicker on the civil side, such as what Judge Emily Miskell is doing in a family law court, and in a non-binding manner than we could in a criminal case. But you're right. You want to see those jurors. You want to be in the room with them. Even if you're in the room with them and they've got a mask on, that will complicate your ability as a trial lawyer to bond with them, to get the readings from them, if you will.
So here you are. You've been in court now for 2 weeks, and it's a murder trial, and everybody's on Zoom, and all of a sudden you hear a dog bark in the background and a doorbell go off. Does the judge look at everybody on Zoom and say, okay, throw this out, we're going to have to start all over? Because don't you have to give 100% attention? This is what Scott was leading to. How do you control that?
It would be very difficult to control that to the degree traditionally we have wanted to and needed to when you do a trial via Zoom. No question. The only problem is, the alternative may be shutting everything down for 6 months to a year, and that we just can't do because thousands of people use the courtroom every single day in the state of Texas, not just for trials, but to go there for copies of documents, to go there for hearings, to go for all manner of things. We've got to get the courtrooms reopened, and it's not going to be easy. We're going to have to make some very tough choices.
All right. Quentin, thank you very much.
Yeah, Quentin Brogdon from Crain, Lewis and Brogdon.